Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be looking at a lovely little game called Cloud. This is a big deal because this is created by two of the same people who went on to make the company That Game Company, or the studio I should say, who are responsible for some of my very favorite games of all time, well, favorite indie games at least, maybe favorite games. They did Flower, Flow, and Journey. And, you know, this, since it's two of the same people, this is essentially one of the very first. But this was done as a development project by a group of students, so this isn't really a commercial game. Still, I think not a lot of people, at least in the last few years, have really heard of it, although it got quite a bit of acclaim when it was released back in 2005. So, let's have a look. I've heard it's quite brilliant, and somehow it's eluded me as well, so... there are 4 chapters to this game. I believe each one takes a slightly different angle at the game, and we're going to start with, does it say intro? Oh, it says extra. I'm going to start at the beginning. For you who landed a long time ago and left the blue sky and the white clouds behind. Lovely art already. And music. Could you really forget that feeling of freedom? Or flying headlong through clouds? I'm sensing a backstory here. I did. Nice presentation. I told her that I was tired of the medicine, the empty walls, and laying here every day. At least you got a nice view, though. Some people just stay in this little brick room all day. She closed my eyes and asked me what I saw. Nothing, I told her. Try harder. Wow, that's beautiful. Clouds are waiting for us. Would you join us? Yes, I would love to. Sort of sounds like a good premise to make the next Knights game out of. Alright, so here we are. I actually had to cut a little bit here because I started playing this for a few minutes and I actually didn't know exactly what I was doing. I sort of missed a couple of the cues and I ended up sort of wandering around for a while. Though I did kind of rein things in and start to pick up on what exactly we're trying to do. So a quick little intro on the controls here. We've got this little orb. This is our mouse pointer. The distance close or far from your character is how you move. So if I want to go straight ahead of me, I would point it far, and then we'll actually start flying pretty quick. If I want to stop at one point, spacebar, and then it brings your mouse cursor back in. We also have 2 other very important buttons, Shift and Control. With when used in conjunction with left click, they will actually consume and disperse clouds. So that's something that I actually kind of missed in the beginning tutorial moments somehow. And there is also this, which is pretty helpful. If you hit F1, it brings that up, or Escape, I guess. I think Escape just brings you to the menu, actually. Yeah, so that's not as helpful. Then holding down the right mouse button is actually going to allow you to spin the viewpoint around, so I don't want to give you guys too much dizziness here, but suffice it to say, let's head over to this brighter cloud here, and what we need to do is hold down Shift, which will allow us to consume the cloud, and then bring them to other clouds to make more friends, and what that means is disperse them amongst them, and it sort of has a chaining effect, it seems. The ones that are in direct proximity to the clouds you dispersed will actually turn into more clouds you can consume. The camera can get a little bit boisterous at times, but you can scroll in and out on the mouse wheel to give yourself a little bit better perspective. Not too bad. I mean, as long as you're not just flying really fast. I mean, that's why you hit spacebar if you get out of control. So let's drop that, and I believe it should activate some of the other... Yeah, you'll hear that chime go off, and that's how you know you did it correctly. So when I first started this out, I was just sort of wandering. I wasn't really getting that I needed to bring clouds to other clouds. I thought this made actual sense, that you grab the cloud that's there and then disperse it over the hospital, because there's actually... I'll bring you over. Let me drop one cloud here for like reference so I can find it easily on the landscape. And then if we head over in, I don't know, one of these directions, there's actually a little island with a hospital on it. or, you know, buildings, which I assumed there would be a hospital. Yeah, and there's a little volcano there and everything. And the whole thing sort of reminds me a little of Katamari Damacy. I'd sort of love to roll up this whole city and see what kind of crazy things come out of this volcano. Maybe grab some fish or some wild lightning gods and clouds that happen to be out there. But yeah, I've played a lot of that game. It's really fun. Back over here, though, let's continue our job, which is to mop up clouds. Oh, I didn't mean to drop those. I actually hit the wrong button. So aesthetically, very pleasing, very soothing. The music is very calm, tranquil, placid. Those are all nice words for it. The concept behind it, I'm not sure how good it is. Like, this is just the first level, so I mean, it changes up for each area, so I probably shouldn't really be critiquing that just yet. Not sure, though, how fun, like, collecting the clouds is. I guess if you're, like, a completionist and you want to do that, but it's really quite difficult to judge the like the amorphous qualities of air vapor. Like, you can't really tell when you're exactly adjacent to another cloud, so you just sort of have to blanket drop a bunch of them and then hope you collect them again. The collision box seems fine. Like, I don't think I have much trouble grabbing them, but you do have to make sure you fly through the center for that to work correctly. So it could leave a little bit to be desired on that front. I mean, it's not exactly intuitive when you're going to be doing what. Alright, heard a lot of chimes. I think I did well on that one. So I guess the game is over when I collect, I don't know, a certain number of these. I'm gonna guess. Dropping clouds is kind of weird. Like, you don't drop them automatically. You have to have your cursor a certain distance away from the character. So if I were to be stopped in it... Oh, you know, it's just you gotta be a certain distance away from other clouds that you've just dropped. That's all it is. So, slowly but surely, we are mopping these up. I think I'm probably supposed to be doing this on a bigger level, like crop dusting all these clouds and going through them to pick them up later. Yeah, I think that actually makes the gameplay a little bit more interesting, huh? And then I would go through them and grab them back. Alright, so I was probably playing that wrong, but they didn't really tutorialize how exactly you're supposed to approach the flying element. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Not necessarily anyone's fault, I just was being sort of dumb about that. You know, I'm kind of want to do that in most of my videos, if you've noticed. I do always miss some sort of major obvious thing. I think flying and picking them up is much more gratifying than dropping them. Like crop dusting them all over the place. I noticed it kind of gives you this feeling like you're flying around in like a Dragon Ball Z environment, which is kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intentional, though. I also noticed that the art styles from the introduction and the actual game proper are kind of at odds with each other. The introductions were very, like, pastel and really refined and elegant looking. This has a little bit more of a heavy-handed approach. And I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, this is, again, only designed by a few students, so, I mean, I'm sure they did a great job with what they could. But I guess I'm longing for more of what I saw in the introduction than what's on offer here. But, you know, the clouds look nice. I don't have any problem with that. I think it's mostly the main character that I just have a little bit... Okay, they're all my friends. I mean, if you look at this character, it's got, like, Vegeta hair, and it looks a little bit very, like, hard, actually, like hard lines. Let's gather all of them. I did. Oh, I gathered I was supposed to do them all in one shot and then go the other way, I guess. Summon them, see what you can make. Alright. Well, let's go somewhere more interesting, because being in the middle of the ocean, not so fun. Zoom out a bit, get some perspective. Where's that nice island with the volcano on? Is it this way? It does seem like there are limits to how far you can move in any one given direction. After a while, I'm not sure if you can tell if it's stopping you. This has been fun, but you need to go back. Okay, it didn't say that to me last time I tried to fly away. Oh. Okay, I don't know what happened. I guess I was booted forcefully from that because I flew too far away. The only other criticism I was going to make in that particular spot was just that you can't exactly tell if you're moving quickly over the water because of the fact that the ocean doesn't have a lot of detail to it. It's sort of a wash of one color with like little specks. So when you're flying over it, it almost seems like you're standing still, because there's nothing to put into perspective where you are in the environment. But still, not a huge deal. Let's see what's going on in the next area. Because each level's supposed to have a slightly different approach. Lollipop! That game company have apparently toyed around with the idea of making this into a proper commercial game, which I would definitely get behind. So far I've enjoyed everything they've made, so I have no qualms with that. And Journey, in fact, is definitely one of my favorite indie games of the last year. Or at least, you know, mainstream-ish, commercially kind of indie games. And I know calling that mainstream is a little bit ridiculous. Let's make a lollipop on the sky. Okay. We can give that a try anyway. So we'll pick up... Oh, okay, I see what we're supposed to do now. Alright, I've got to, I almost said, like, breed some more clouds, because that's kind of what it feels like we're doing. So, drop some all around. I gotta get more to drop more, I guess. Are there good ones? Because I'm not really able to drop any right now. I guess I gotta start small, huh? So there is actually a little element of, like, Katamari-esque balling up. It's not chiming. Am I dropping them wrong? I would have actually really appreciated a little bit more tutorializing in the very, very beginning. Just something to say, like, to the effect of, like, listen for the chime if you've connected the clouds correctly, or, like, try flying over large groups of them. I don't know, just, it doesn't need much, just a few more lines. I don't seem to be able to convert these clouds. Are these not good clouds for me? Maybe I should go over here or something. I mean, I can drop these here, but I don't think that's going to do much good until I have enough to be able to make any... There we go. Alright, so maybe that group of clouds are just a bunch of jerks for some reason, and they're not going to cooperate. Really loving the music, too. It's definitely got a nice vibe to it. And actually, if you picture this without the music, it would be a totally different experience. So the music is really fortuitous to the experience here as a total. Those clouds are they're taller than mine? That's why, I guess. Clouds must be taller first, gather them up. Okay, well, I didn't understand that taller was a thing that I could have expressed here. So let's gather more clouds that are taller. Or can get taller, I don't know. Now release them and make a taller one? See how tall you can make? I don't get it. How do I make a taller one just by releasing them? Release them all in the same... Oh, you just keep holding it down and then they rise. I get it. Wasn't that complicated, I was just being dumb. Alright, yeah, so you gotta keep holding them out. There's not really a good visual cue to tell that they're taller, though. Can you tell? Because I don't think it's obvious. Makes sense once you say it, but, like, it doesn't seem like you can just tell, like, oh, intuitively, I get that those are taller clouds. You just wonder, like, hey, how come these don't work? How tall can I make? Apparently those were very tall. So what did I do with this cloud? Let's step away from it. Yeah, it's pretty tall. I guess it's kind of hard to imagine the y-axis of this situation when we're sort of operating on one standard plane. If you know what I mean? Like, even though we're flying, we may as well be gliding around on the ground because it doesn't change altitude ever. This is a little awkward, actually, trying to make these tall clouds. Alright, well, that's that. Have I collected... Okay, there's still more over here. I can kind of tell this is one of those games that's not going to be for everybody. It's definitely quirky. I'm not sure I get a lot of the decisions behind it. Like the gameplay mechanic decisions, some of them seem a little questionable or strange to me, but it might just be because I'm approaching this somehow wrong. I definitely wouldn't have guessed that I would need to be making tall clouds. But I guess it is kind of soothing. I mean, it's there's certainly more stressful things to be doing in video games, you know, shooting dudes everywhere. You know, playing with clouds, it's not bad. Maybe I would like a altitude-ometer or something. Something to tell me like how high they are over me, like maybe even just a visual tag or like a color indicator that pops up when you get near it, like, oh, this one is orange, so that means it's this far above you. This one is yellow, that means it's slightly less far above you. This one's red, it's very far above you. And it doesn't have to be like an actual red cloud, but I mean, it could just pop up like a little meter in the corner or something. Or, you know, actually like express multiple planes that you could move and zoom around in. This part feels a little grindy, actually, like grabbing all these clouds. I kind of just want to fly through them and do it in a linear, quick fashion. But no, I'm just making really big clouds. And then we're gonna make a lollipop, apparently. Whoa, whoa, what? What in the... I don't know what just happened there. I'm dragging that cloud around. I didn't know I could drag clouds. That's a thing? I'm gathering them? I'm so lost. What's going on? All I know is I'm supposed to be making tall clouds at this point. That one just decided to stick to me. Like a pile of cotton candy. Oh, maybe I've reached like my maximum amount of clouds that I can like fill up in my cloud bank. Or something. Now I'm just holding down. Yeah. Just drop some more. I guess you can only hold so many clouds? I don't know. Still kind of confused. Yeah, because after that point, you see it fills up, but then there's still more. Alright, I can kind of get into dragging around clouds. That could be fun. Let's drag them over here, see if we can finish this up. And then I'm going to leave the last two areas for you guys to play on your own. Because, as I've mentioned in the past, I have sort of a love-hate relationship with spoiling the wonder in some of these games. As much as I love to play them on video and show them off and enjoy them with you guys, I also don't want to take away from the experience that you guys could be having with these games personally. Alright, so let's drag this ball, if we can, as carefully as possible. Let's actually drop a little bit more, try and convert all these edges, because this could be the end of our lollipop. Just make kind of easy. That one seems like it's there. We go. Yeah, some of these clouds are a little obstinate. They don't really want to convert properly. Alright, drag you over there. I guess how would you make the circle if not for that? I mean, you'd have to just go carefully, I suppose. And moving too quickly, I believe, will disperse the clouds somewhat, so I have to be careful about how I drag these. They do seem to have some sort of physics to them, which is nice. And I just need to make sure that they occupy all of these blocks, it looks like. So I'll fill in the corners. That is nowhere near where I put that down. Until those boxes disappear, I guess. Oh, okay. Let's shift the camera a little bit. Yeah, I need to get a better perspective on this. And hopefully I have enough clouds that maybe I could just solve this right now. I made it! Alright, where's our lollipop? That is the ghettoest lollipop I've ever seen. Do I want... Absolutely, how do I do that? Middle mouse click. Now what? Okay. You can see it from above, yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, ghetto lollipop in the sky. How... Oh, it's just taunting me now. That's rude, cloud game. Why would you do that to me? Alright, so as I said, I'm going to leave the last two for you guys to do. I believe these are somewhat of departures from what we saw in the actual game, so, I mean, these should be interesting for you guys to experience. I don't want to spoil it. Let's see what's in the extra menu real quickly. Don't know what those are. Waka Waka, okay. Do I want to click on one? Oh. Little creations, I guess you can zoom around in. That's cool. Whoa, it was so high. How did I get up there? Alright, so there's like alternate scenarios, I suppose. These are dark clouds. I've heard about these. Apparently you get to convert those some other way. And this is your catalyst, I suppose, to start the entire reaction with. So this whole area, the landscape of it, is pretty largely irrelevant as far as I can tell. Except for, I think, the 4th campaign has you, like, dropping the clouds in certain places or something. Perhaps relevant to the terrain, but other than that, not a lot to see or do with it, which is a little unfortunate. I was kind of hoping we would get to walk around or something, or, you know, meet people on the ground. Maybe they'd be affected by our cloud creations, who knows? But I would definitely see if there was, you know, potential for this to be released as a commercial game. I could see a lot of directions and angles that they could take this in that would be really cool. And knowing what they've done with Journey, I mean, if they go even anywhere near that kind of an idea, I'd be happy with it. It's certainly soothing. I don't have any criticisms in that respect, and if you are looking for a nice way to unwind between the music and the visuals, I think this does a very nice job of it. So, I think we'll wrap it up at this point. This has been Cloud. I'm glad I got to take a look at it. I mean, it's definitely been somewhat critically acclaimed, so I wanted to make sure it had a spot in our Indie Impressions gallery, or, you know, whatever you call it, the group of games that I've created in our Indie Impressions space. So this is a very, you know, up in the air on my recommendations. Oh, get it? Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. But if this looked appealing to you, if you want something to relax, something kind of tranquil and peaceful to play for a while, you could do a lot worse. It's free, and I will prop the link up in the description, as always, so feel free to give a click on that and check it out. And even if you just want to experience a little part of history from that game company, I recommend checking it out. So, thank you so much for watching. Remember, as always, remember to head on over to www.indie-impressions.com so you can stay up on all the new stuff with the channel, see all of my videos, sort them, you know, look through them, check out stuff you might have missed. And then, of course, head on over to facebook.com/IndieImpressions. Leave a like on that, so that way Indie Impressions videos can show up in your Facebook page stream, and or feed, I should say. And then, of course, there's my 2 Twitters, at RockLeeSmile and at Indie Impression, if you want to follow at RockLeeSmile. That is the best way to get in contact with me, so if you want to leave me any suggestions for indie games to try in the future, preferably free ones if possible, unless you're a developer. Know the developer might be able to get me a review key, that would be best. But that is the way to do it. Any comments, suggestions, criticisms, whatnot is all welcome, so feel free to get in contact with me again at RockLeeSmile on Twitter. And that's going to wrap us up for today. Remember to come back again tomorrow, because I do one of these videos every single day without exception. We are very close to our 200th episode, so that will be coming up and something to look forward to. So I hope you guys have a lovely night, and I hope you enjoyed Cloud, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Later, guys.